Hi, it's Ben. Welcome to another episode. So today, right, I would like to go into sharing the golden age of opportunity for investing in property in Singapore. Okay, so let's jump into it. Now, the golden age of opportunity to buy property, when is actually the best time to enter the market? As I shared earlier in my previous sessions, and my previous videos, the best time does not depend on the market itself anymore because we have moved away from a speculative environment. All right. So when is this best time? Now, I've drawn out a couple of examples which give you an idea of how or I should say, when would be that the best window of opportunity? Now, I'd like to give a disclaimer. This does not mean absolutely that if you are priced out of a certain range, you cannot invest. Or if you are of a certain age, you also cannot invest. Okay, that is not true, but let's take a look at the numbers first, shall we? Now, okay, let's take a look at three different age groups. Okay, 35 years old, okay, 45 and 55 years old. Now, based on these three age groups, right, and we base on a 1.5 million loan, okay. Now, take note that this is a 1.5 million loan amount. That does not mean you're buying a $1.5 million property. Okay, typically in Singapore, you are allowed to loan a maximum of 75% across most of the banks. And if you take that into consideration and you're taking a $1.5 million loan, this would mean that you are buying a property worth $2 million in the market. All right. Okay, let's take a look at a 35-year-old, okay, with the monthly income. We can take this to be a combined income of two people. That's no problem with an average age of 35 years old. Okay, earning an average income between the two of, earning a total income between the two of them, 13,000, a total of $13,000 a month. Okay, so if you can take a look at this here, okay, I base it on private property. Of course, I do give the information on EC and HDB as well. Okay, so the figures are all there and also the period of time that they can loan. Notice that the period of time that they are able to loan, because in Singapore, we can only take a loan of typically up to the age of 65 years. All right. And all these numbers and these figures are based on 65 years age. All right. The loan tenure or the loan period of all these are based on up till 65 years old. So do take note of that. So if you are 35 this year, then obviously the maximum loan period will be 30 years. All right. And okay, then we look at the age group 45. All right, with the same amount of $1.5 million loan, you would need to earn, okay, a total income of 16,500. So it's gone up quite a fair bit. All right. Now the next jump will be the biggest jump that I want to open your eyes to. All right, will be the age group 55. So in fact, here we add 10 years to 35 will be 45, and then we add another 10 years to 45 will be 55. Now, the income jump that is required is actually very substantial. All right, from 16,500 to 27,500. All right, and take note, all these while, okay, the number of years that you will be able to loan is shortened as we go along the line. All right, so that's one thing about the years being shorter. The other very big factor, which is not put here, is very obviously your mortgage per month. Okay, your mortgage per month will have gone up substantially as well. Okay, because simply that the years are shorter, you have a shorter period of repayment, and hence you need to pay more per month. All right. So take a look mostly at, I would say, between the age of 45 to 55. Okay, your income jump to just get the same $1.5 million loan would be quite substantial, from 16,500 to 27,500. All right, almost double, in fact. Okay, so back to our question about the golden age of opportunity to invest into property. If I show you this chart, I think it's very obvious that you will have say that, oh, definitely the younger we are, that would be the best time. I will agree with that, definitely. But that does not mean that if you happen that you are in this age group, or if you are in the 55 age group, it does not mean that, oh, that's it. I will not be able to buy a property anymore. You still can. It's just that the commitment, okay, that you will need to commit in to buy a property will be much more significant. Okay, so we take a look at some more numbers, which I think are interesting. Now, if your income rises with age, this is the amount that you will be able to, that you will need to earn before you get a $1.5 million loan. Now, we take a look at another scenario whereby the same age groups, 35, 45, and 55, but imagine this time the income does not increase. What is the amount that we are able to loan over a period, the same age groups? Okay, at 35, obviously you're still able to get that $1.5 million loan. Now, it has dropped quite a fair bit. Okay, if you take a look at for age 45, it has dropped to 1.179. Okay, $1.179 million loan, 1.79. Roughly, you are looking at a $1.5 million property. Okay, previously, of course, if you look at a $1.5 million loan, you are able to buy up to a property of up to $2 million in value. Okay, so if your income doesn't increase, but your age does, and age invariably will definitely increase. So if you are 45 and your income doesn't increase and still remain at 13,000, then the type of property very obviously will you'll be limited to the type of property that you can buy simply because of the price drop. Okay, and the very big jump again would be from 45 to 55. Okay, you notice that at 55, if your income doesn't increase from 13,000, you will only be able to you will only be able to loan 700,000. All right, and this would translate to a property that is valued at about 940,000, which is below $1 million. So let me ask you, in today's market, how many properties are in that range of below $1 million? Okay, and I think at this age of 55, you wouldn't want to take up such a big risk anymore, right? You would probably look at something more prudent. So can we say that your window of opportunity would be more limited? It's not that you cannot buy. You can, but the window of opportunity, I would say, is limited. You can still invest, you can still make money, but what we will be able to look at have to be more focused into certain areas just because of the budgeting. Of course, also on the other hand, when you are 55, you will have a significant savings as well, just because of the age and the time that it took to reach to save up that amount. Okay, but if you remember my previous video about Mr. A, right? He didn't buy a private property, but he chose a much lower value asset in terms of he bought a HDB. And if you remember correctly, I shared with you about his history during that 7-year period between the time that he bought the HDB and when he looked for me to sell his HDB. I would have thought that, he would have some significant savings, but he told me no, he actually splashed away the money, right? So I'm not saying that everyone is like that. There are a lot of prudent savers out there also. But while we save the money, why not we make the money and put the money into good use and allow the money to make more money back for us? Okay, so I think this itself will actually show that you should invest whenever you have the capability. And in my previous video as well, I did mention, when do we want to work hard? We always want to work hard when we are younger, right? As opposed to working hard when we are older. It just logistically and logically doesn't make much sense, right? Okay. So I would like to share with you also where I get these numbers from and whether these numbers make sense or not. Hey, 35 years old, two people can make 13,000. Okay, is that what is happening in the market? Okay, so just some of the figures here from the Singapore Stat Board to show you that actually the median income in 2021 is actually $9,520. Okay, median household income, and in fact 2022 is gone up to over 10,000 already. All right, and if you can take a look here, this I got this previous figure of 10,099, okay, 10,099 from actually this statistics Department of Statistics in Singapore, and the figures are here as well. And of course, the average salary by age group. Okay, this is before us including the employer's CPF. After including the employer's CPF in this age group of 35 to 39, you'll be looking at about 6,100 to 6,200. All right. So what I did here is based on this median income, what can we buy today? Okay, so I can address most of as many people as I can out there as possible. All right. So a husband, about 38 years old, based on the previous statistics, roughly income about 6,001. Okay, this is average. Average. I'm talking about average. All right. And the wife at 36, maybe the income is 4,000. So the average age is 37. 138, 136, average age 37. Total will be 10,100, which translates to the medium income in Singapore at that age group. All right. And private property purchase value would translate to 1.489 million. All right. This is what I worked out based on the financial calculation. All right. So put in summary, a couple based on 38 and 36 years old, assuming they do not have any additional debt, okay, and the income of 6,001 plus 4,000, total income of 10,100, okay, average age of 37, will be able to buy a $1.48 million property today. Okay, so if based on this, where can we find this property? And what are the best options out there today? All right. Those of you who are more savvy and following the trend in the market today will probably find, 1.48, maybe you can't really buy much. There will be another group saying that, 1.48, okay, we have to look at a certain sort of market, maybe a resale market, or if you're more prudent, looking at the HDB resales. All right. So, yeah, I hope this gives you an insight based on the numbers and based on the golden age of opportunity to invest into property. I'm not, like I want to mention again, I'm not saying that if you're older, you cannot buy property already. You can, but it is more limited. So what does that mean? We have to be much, much more careful, because in the sense that how many more properties can you buy and how much more times you want to make from this from this investment. Okay, if we are younger, we buy, we save our money in, allow our money to work for us, okay, and then we can grow that money, move that money into a bigger property, bigger quantum, so that our capital net worth is always building upwards. All right. If you're older, you can still do it. If you're committed enough, we have to be more focused into the areas that we are looking at to build that remaining net worth that we are able to build. All right. So in my next video, please stay tuned. Do like, do subscribe to my channel, and then I will share more into, based on this 1.48, what are the kind of options that we have out there for us, and what are the best options. And thereafter, I will go in a little bit more in depth into the micro view of how to choose these properties going forward. Okay, so do stay tuned. Thank you very much.